Welcome to episode 6 now of the Fivefold right here on Variety Sports Network. While you're still early on, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. While you're at it, we're at 526, so help us get to that 550 mark. We'd really appreciate it. All right, fellas. Brandon, our Blues are in a freaking stink of a playoff battle right now with the Vegas Golden Knights. Huge game.
I'd say the Knights
right now.
And the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah. You can still throw the Wild in there. Probably the Kings. Who else? There's got to be somebody else. Probably not going to catch Nashville. Nah, I think Calgary's out of it.
Yeah, they're just there.
Nashville's pretty much locked up the
first
wild card spot.
Unless they can get in and sneak into that 3. Winnipeg's only 93. You're looking at
they're 89?
88.
That's crazy if they could jump in like that.
Yeah. With us stacked the freaking Western Conference, the Central Division is.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that'd be something else. Aaron, how's your Rangers? How are your Rangers doing?
It is
tied for first in the NHL.
No, we have 1 point over them, over the Canes, but they're not slowing down. They're 8-1-1. I watched them last night against Toronto, and they just destroyed Toronto on the 5-5.
Ooh, yeah.
So it's a little scary in the Metro, but
yeah. How you feeling going into the last 11 games of the season?
I feel pretty good with my team. I think the biggest test we have the rest of the way is the Avalanche game that's coming up, and maybe the Flyers, just because it's John Tortorella's team. Other than that, it's not too bad of a schedule. I wish we had the Hurricane schedule, because I think in April they play Columbus twice and Chicago. Mm-hmm. So I was like, wow, that's going to be tough.
You should see the Blues.
The real tough schedule. What do the Blues have for the rest of the? You got Vegas tonight.
Calgary Thursday.
They don't play till Thursday.
Yeah, they got like a 2-day break in there.
Oh, and then they got San Jose. Okay, I like it.
I mean, your guys' April. It's really just the Oilers, Hurricanes, and Star. Okay, you got the Star. Oh Jesus, nope. You got the Stars and the Predators. Whew.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Never mind.
It'll be a tough one.
I would say Vegas has a lot harder schedule than us in the stretch.
Yeah.
So it's going to be pretty much a thing that the Blues, if they want any chance of passing over the Vegas Golden Knights, the Blues are probably going to have to win out the majority of their final few games.
Absolutely. There's no doubt they have to. I wouldn't even say win out, but they have to win a majority of them.
Yes.
They have to win at least 8 of their last 11, I would say, to actually get a for sure spot in the playoffs. And you just got to hope Vegas kind of falters a little bit.
Yeah, because the beginning of April, we have a pretty lax schedule. I mean, we do, after Nashville, we have the Sharks, Ducks, and Blackhawks. So, I mean,
there should be 3 wins, but no one will lose.
Yeah, you're looking at probably 8 or 9 out of the last 11.
Yeah. That wouldn't surprise me at all if they don't make it in, because they haven't played they haven't played well against teams like San Jose, Anaheim, Chicago this year. But who knows? Hopefully they make it in. What's up, Darren? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, playoff hockey. April 20th is what I saw, right?
Should be, yeah.
Yeah, April 20th, first kickoff of the playoffs. It should be a fun one. Should be some fun ones. Let's look at the actually, let's talk about something first. I'm going to play this little clip for you guys, and I'm going to give credit to Sportsnet for this little video. So let's talk about Tom Wilson, your favorite guy in the Eastern Conference.
Oh, yeah.
Behind, and then a little reaction by Gregor right there with the stick up. But you could tell immediately Wilson was like, oh, no, what did I do? Just a dumb refoul. The leak may look look at that afterwards. Well, just look at the original hit from behind and then a little reaction by Gregor right there with the stick up. But you could tell immediately Wilson was like, oh no, what did I do?
He knew what he was doing.
When they say a dumb reflex, there ain't no way in hell that's a reflex. That is a full-on, oh, you hit me in the face with your stick, I'm going to beat the shit out of you with my stick.
Yeah, it wasn't even when I saw it the other night, I was like, wow. Like there was no like
no remorse.
The fact what got me out of the whole thing was the fact that he grabbed Noah Gregor and was like, oh, my bad. Like, sorry, I really didn't mean to do that. Like, no, like Tom, come on now, Tom. We know we all know that was maybe it wasn't done purposefully, but it was there was some intent behind it.
Yeah, this is the same guy that grabbed Artemi Panarin like 2 years ago and like took him backwards on the ice and almost pretty much tore up his knee. So he has no remorse for that.
He got only 5 games, right? I believe that's what I saw. 6 games,
and he won't appeal. So he knows what he did.
Yeah,
he knows he messed up.
Does that hurt though the Capitals a little bit because they are in that second wild card spot?
I think it could. I think it could be enough to pull them out of that spot.
Who's behind them in the standings?
Detroit is 78 points, but they just got back Dylan Larkin, so that could be a big thing for them. And then obviously the Islanders, but they haven't done anything.
Yeah,
I think they're on a skid actually.
So you got Detroit
behind them at all.
Detroit, Islanders, they're 1 point. I mean, realistically, you still got Buffalo, who's playing really, really well. I know they're still 73 points. New Jersey's right there. The Devils are 74 points. The Islanders 75, and Detroit at 78, which they're only a couple points behind Philadelphia for that spot. Who's it? No. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I got myself confuzzled. Just kind of looking at the standings here. Back to the Tom Wilson thing though. 6 games enough?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, how much more do people want? Like a 10 gamer for that? 6 is fine.
Yeah. Okay, Brandon, what do you think?
I think 6 is relatively reasonable. I mean, it looked like he, in a way, like we kind of said earlier, how he kind of grabbed the guy afterwards, like, but I mean, not probably going in for an appeal. That probably helped his case a little bit much more. I mean, but who knows?
Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, yeah, I would imagine it could affect the Washington Capitals in their playoff, the into their playoff race. You said they're only 1 point above Detroit. They're 2 points behind. They're the same. Yeah, they're in the same division as Philadelphia, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're only 2 points behind Philadelphia for the 3rd spot in the Metropolitan.
Man, they don't even play their captain, so anything can happen in Philly.
Right. Yeah, didn't they healthy scratch him the other night?
Yeah, they did it for 2 games, and they went 1-1. So, and as Tort says, they don't need what was it?
Scratch that. I'm talking about Washington. Washington's 2 points behind Philadelphia for the. Not Detroit. Detroit's going to be locked into a playoff spot or a wild card spot if they can get a wild card spot.
I mean, anything can happen. They do have their captain, so.
Yeah, Washington's only 2 points out of that 3rd spot in the Metropolitan, not Detroit. Sorry.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of like that 7-team President's Trophy debacle going on? I haven't seen anything like that, and
it's a little crazy. We'll pull let me take the Tom Wilson thing off. I figured that the conversation went a little bit longer than, but it's all good.
Just a nasty goon.
You got what? 7 teams within 1 point of the the top spot in the NHL right now. Yeah, the Canucks playing tonight, so they could obviously open that up a little bit. But you still have Winnipeg right there at 93 points, only 5 points behind the first place team in the NHL, which they're probably not going to get to that. I don't imagine Winnipeg getting there, but there's a lot of teams ahead of them.
11 games ahead of them are left for Winnipeg. That's a pretty steep hill to climb when you only have that many games left, and all those other teams are doing really good as well.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. How do you, Aaron? How do you feel about the Rangers being possible President's Trophy winners?
I don't want it. I don't want that curse of the President's Trophy. I think only one team's been successful winning the Stanley Cup as a President's Trophy winner, and the Rangers have done it before, and they did lose the Stanley Cup. So I'm good. I'd rather give it to like Florida or Vancouver or something.
I'd imagine Vancouver. Let Vancouver have it because that's
give it to Vancouver, and then they'll get a first round exit from the Blues.
Yeah.
Whew, it's a hot take right there.
No, so yeah, it's a little jam packed at the top. So we're probably going to see 1, 2, 3, possibly 8 teams. Maybe Toronto sneaks in 100 points too, and 9 teams with 100 points on the season. Now,
with that, do they have like a tiebreaker if they get like multiple teams at all? Because I never knew about this one. Is if they get so close and they have multiple teams at the top with the same points, do they take regulation wins at that point, or how would they take that?
I think it goes overtime wins or overtime losses. I think it's overtime wins. I don't know that one off the top of my head. I'd have to look.
I would go by like a strength of schedule or something, like a NFL type.
Well, I mean, if you look at it now, the Vancouver has 45 wins, 71 games. They have 98 points. They have 18 losses with 8 OT. I guess OT losses. New York Rangers, they got 71 games played, 47 wins, 20 losses, 4 overtime, 98 points. Florida, the 71 games, 46 wins, 20 losses, 5 overtime games. Colorado, same thing, 46, 20, and 5, 97 points. Carolina has 72 games played, 45, 20, and 7. So I think it. I'm gonna look it up because it's got to be tiebreaker for President's Trophy. Tiebreaker pregnancy. What? I'd imagine it's got to be something like that.
It seems right.
Fewer number of games play. Oh wait, no.
Well, they all play the same amount of games. That's the hard part. The 2 teams are tied for the most points, and the trophy goes to the team with the most regulation wins.
Okay.
So that would be, right now, your New York Rangers.
Yes, it would. Yay.
47 regulation wins.
Damn it.
President's Trophy winners. New York Rangers.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So you're just hoping for a couple losses in there, right? A couple Vancouver wins.
I mean, in all honesty, I saw a thing for Rangers Twitter. Someone was like, "Oh, we have to go 11-0 to knock off the regular season because Carolina's just breathing like right there, right on top of our necks."
That's true. I mean, yeah, you do have Carolina right there, so there's a good chance that you don't even get the first seed or the 1 spot in the it's
Metro?
right in front of me. The Metro. Gosh, it's right there in front of me. Literally right there.
I'm just glad the Bruins are finally out of the top spot in the Atlantic. They did not deserve to be in the top spot in the Atlantic.
I mean, yeah.
They were playing bad teams in the beginning of the season. I kept saying it, and people were like, "Oh, they're just a good team. The Bruins are a good team." I was like, no, dude, they're playing bad teams, and now they're actually playing good teams, and they still are tied with the Islanders for the most overtime losses at 15.
Yep, I was getting ready to say that. That's their 15 overtime losses.
That's crazy.
New York Islanders have 15 overtime losses as well on this season. You got Seattle over here with 13, LA Kings with 11. That's a lot. That's a lot of points.
Yeah.
That you're missing out. But what's crazy though is that if you look at the Islanders, they're 30, 26, and 15. Boston only has 11 more wins than the New York Islanders. Regulation wins.
Yep.
11 more regulation wins than the New York Islanders, but they're sitting 97 points at the top of the division.
Yep.
That's nuts.
And I'll keep saying it till the season ends. They have second and third line centers that are, I'm sorry, third and fourth line centers playing first and second line when they shouldn't be.
And that's kind of the same way with the Blues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make an argument for a couple of them, but other than that, all the rest of them are about third, fourth liners probably.
So, Brandon, who do you think walks away with the President's Trophy at the end of the season?
Yeah, they're in the mix, aren't they? Yeah. I would say, I mean, if Florida keeps going like they would, possibly, but I mean, Colorado as well, they're right there in the mix. If with how strong they've been playing, I feel like Colorado could be right there winning it.
Okay. All right. Aaron, what do you think? Obviously, you don't want your Rangers to win the President's Trophy.
No.
Who would you like to see win the President's Trophy?
I could honestly see Carolina sneaking in and doing this, just because now with Getzel and Kuznetsov, and I believe Frederick Anderson is 6-0 since coming back from his blood clots in his leg. So this team is just clicking on all cylinders. I think the last loss they had was against us when we beat them 1-0. So I can see them taking it over.
They're a scary team right now. They're playing what are they? They're like 9-2. I mean, everybody in that top, like I was looking at it earlier, like at the full standings, the full NHL standings, and it's still 1-0. Why does it say Vegas empty net?
Nice.
Wait, what?
It's a good strategy.
It says Vegas empty net, second period, 12:47 left in the game. Unless it's just a glitch. Oh, yeah, it went away.
For me, it still says 1-0.
Yeah. It had empty net. It said EN in red letters. At the
Bruce
top,
Cassidy's a crazy guy.
Yeah. Kings are already up on the Canucks 1-0. It's only 2 games tonight. 2 games on a Monday night. No college basketball, no NFL, no MLB. 2 games on a Monday night.
That's crazy.
There's 2 games tonight.
Usually there's a lot more on Mondays.
Yeah, there's 12 games tomorrow, 2 games Wednesday, 14 on Thursday, and 1 on Friday night. One stinking game on
Who's
Friday
playing Friday?
And it's the New Jersey Devils and the Buffalo Sabres.
Jesus.
New Jersey's 5.
That's going to be a boring night. That's going to be a boring hockey night.
Yeah,
oh
it's on
my
NHL.
God.
It's on NHL Network as well. So,
oh Jesus! I bet Hockey Night in Canada's going crazy up there on TSN.
Yeah. No, I was looking at the last 10, like the last 10 games earlier. So Vancouver's 7-2-1, 3-game win streak. Rangers are 7-3-0 on a 2-game win streak. Florida's 5-4-1 on a 1-game win streak. The Colorado Avalanche 9-1-0, winners of 9 straight games now. So, Aaron, not to scare you a little bit, but I know you said the Rangers play the Avalanche here soon.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. 9-game win streak, 10 games before the playoffs. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, they did beat the Penguins last night, but in overtime, though, and gave up 4 goals. So I think if Georgiev's in that, I think we have a chance because we'll keep saying I'll keep saying on Blue Shirts banner. Same thing as Sunday is Jerry. Any backup goalie for the Rangers is mid whenever they go to different teams. So
yeah.
Heck,
that's fair.
What's even surprising for Colorado is that backup goaltender they got going right now, Noonan, I think his name is. He's been playing really hot whenever Georgiev isn't in the net.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Carolina's 8-1-1, winners of 1 straight. Dallas 8-2-0. 4 straight wins now for the Dallas Stars. Boston 6-3-1, 2 losses in a row. Winnipeg's 5-5, 5-0 with 3 straight losses, and Toronto 5-4-1 in losers of their last 1-2. But Nashville sneaking up here, 8-0-2 in their last 10 with 5 straight wins. And that telling you the Central Division.
And they still got like an 18 or 20 point streak going on still right now. That is crazy.
Sheesh.
They're 22-10-3 on the road. The Nashville Predators are. You're gonna win yourself a Stanley Cup. That's how you're gonna do it. Winning on the road.
And I saw an article that they were saying that 5 teams to look out for making like Cinderella story runs, and Nashville was the number 1 team on that list.
Yeah, they did a couple of years ago when they played Pittsburgh. They kind of had the same kind of run, and then just kind of got themselves in the right positions at the right time and were able to get themselves to the Stanley Cup final. I think they lost in 5 though, didn't they? 5 or 6. Or did it go 7?
No, I think it was 6, but I think if they kept Shea Weber instead of trading for PK Subban, they probably would have won it.
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
Maybe.
The only gripe I have is that Winnipeg, we lost to Winnipeg 4-2. They were faster than us, but then they lose 3 straight to Washington, the Islanders, and the Devils. And I'm like, how does this make any sense? Make it make sense with this with the Rangers when it came to that. It didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, that's Winnipeg for you. I said at the beginning of the year when I think the first episode we did, I think Winnipeg was up in the division by like 4 or 5 or something like that, and I said they're not going to stay there.
Nope.
They're like the Milwaukee Brewers of the NHL. They can't ever win the division.
I can see that.
With how well Dallas and how well Colorado have been playing, they weren't going to be able to keep that top spot forever.
Yeah,
but even Dallas is spotty though.
They're spotty, but they still have been playing pretty damn good hockey.
Yeah, 4 straight wins. Winners of their last, 8 out of their last 10, or 8. They're 8-2 in their last 10. I should say that.
They're 8-2.
Last 4. It's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive. Shucks. Let's see.
Oh, I saw something on the Empty Netters pod. They were talking about this. I thought it was kind of strange, but what do you guys think of having like the full cage helmets or the bubble helmets? They were saying that the bubble helmets and the cage helmets are a lot better than just having no helmet, like no face guard at all, or even just like the half visor. They were saying like it's better for the league and it's a lot cooler. They try to use the Connor Bedard's stats like with the bubble and without. And I was like, it's not hockey, man. Like people want to see teeth on the ice and the bloodiness like that. They don't want people in a bubble.
All right. I can see it like how I feel with that. Yeah. Go ahead, Brandon. You can go ahead.
I don't know how I feel about that because it would definitely put more of a protective factor in there because you have guys like getting high sticks and all the time, and that would definitely keep from having all those injuries and everything. But I don't know. I guess I just don't really know how I feel about the whole like bowl thing on the helmets. I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I'd rather see toothless guys and like blood on the floor and these bubbles.
I don't know.
I think they're like, I don't like those.
I think you have to look at it the same way. And we'll bring Jerry in here to join the show.
Hi guys.
What's up, Jerry?
Long time no see.
Yeah.
It's only been a week. It's fine. Talk about Aaron brought up the whole bubbles and cages, face masks and stuff in the NHL, and how statistically players are doing better with them.
Yeah, they're like doing better with the
right?
bubble on than without. Like,
As somebody who made the switch in men's league from a half shield to a, I'm gonna say 3/4 shield, like a bubble, so to speak, not a full on fishbowl, but like the top with the bottom, like kind of what they wear when they break the jaw. I get it, just because what the freedom is awesome on your face and it feels great and it looks cool, but just there's no more fear. Not that the NHL guys should be playing in fear. Obviously these guys are professionals, and I feel like high stakes are kept at a minimum compared to B League hockey. Could be wrong about that. I don't know, but I don't know. I feel like you can just kind of go balls to the wall and not have to worry about getting your teeth knocked out.
Unless you're Tom Wilson.
Yeah.
That's where I was going to kind of go with things. It's probably a confidence thing, knowing that if you get a puck shot at you, it's you don't have to worry about having to cover your face or anything like that. Or you're busting an eye socket or getting your nose broken, anything like that. So it's probably just a confidence thing. Just being able to play a little bit more, like I guess free will, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
So I don't know. That's where I would go with look at things. It's like the NFL banning the drop.
I saw that. That's gonna be a disaster.
Yeah.
What are they dropping?
The hip tackle or the hip toss, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. It just caused a lot. I mean, I get why they did it, but at the same time, it's not part of the game, I guess.
In the words of JJ Watt, just get the flags.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of the same with the NHL with the bubbles. He's giving flags.
Do you think if they were to make that transition, the NHL was like, hey, here's the thing, you're going to wear full cage, or not, full bubbles, for example. Does it get
it'll be met with resistance, but I don't think it's going to be as many. It doesn't affect the play,
Right.
Whereas if you look at like the NFL thing, what we're talking about, it's kind of a little bit different. With the bubbles, it's just like, people are going to be pissed. Players are going to be not happy about it, but it's going to be what it's going to be. Give it a year. People would adjust. I think we're more likely to see a mandate on neck guards before we see a mandate on full face cages. They're starting to roll out a lot now, especially after what happened in, I guess it was England, I think it was, right? With the guy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm starting to see more and more people wear that. So I think that mandate would probably come first before the full cages. But also, you look at college hockey; they wear it in college hockey. There's no difference,
Right. Yeah, they wear they're most of them wear cages, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to. Some wear bubbles, but yeah, you have to have full face protection.
Yep.
I mean, since we talked about it with Tom Wilson, maybe guys like that could just keep slashing in the face and not get suspension.
Yeah, it'll bounce right
that's
off.
Yeah, well, that's the question I was kind of leading to would it lead to? I mean, obviously, it would lead to lesser penalties, less high sticks, maybe less 4-minute majors. I mean, you're probably still going to get the high stick.
I think the 4-minute majors would be a thing of the past as far as the blood goes. Because you're not really. I'm sure they can maybe still happen in like a disaster scenario, but it's not going to be nearly as frequent as it is now.
Yep.
Yeah. That's where my thought train went with that. Is like we're probably going to see less of those major, the 4-minute penalty. You don't really see them that often. Not too often anymore. I don't think so. At least, I feel like sometimes 4-minute penalties get the players are really good at drawing blood when they need to.
Yes.
It's like a technique. Once they get that high stick, they're like, let me keep pulling on it until I can get it to, until I can get it to bleed. Brandon, what do you think on a possible? I don't say it's possible, but just the idea of a bubble cage kind of thing.
I mean, I think it. I don't know. I'm gonna go back to what I had said earlier. I don't really know how I feel about the idea. I mean, I know it'd be more of a protective thing for a lot of the players, but I mean, I've played hockey when I was a real little kid, and to me, I don't see like a benefit or non-benefit to having either the cage or not having something more than what we already have.
Okay. All right. Anybody else got any Aaron, you got anything else on that?
No,
Excuse
just
me.
wanted to bring that up. I thought
Yeah.
that was kind of interesting. They were talking about it.
That is interesting. Jerry, before you came on with us, we were talking about your New York Rangers being the according to tiebreaker for the President's Trophy right now, even though
I don't want
Vancouver's
it.
tied with LA. Well, here's the
I
thing.
said the same thing.
Here's the thing. So you're looking at the standings, right? So we were looking at the tiebreaker. If we're like the season was like, all right, like we're done at 71 games, right? 72 games. Say Vancouver wins, the Rangers win their last game of the season. You both finish with 100 points. The Rangers would actually win the President's Trophy.
I know. And it sucks. Why do we have to beat the crap out of the Bruins every time we play them?
Yeah.
I mean, look at it like this. Like I said before, we've won the President's Trophy and we've won the Cup. It's happened before. We've done it before. It is what it is. It's hasn't happened in a little bit. I think we crunched the numbers on the last Blue Shirt Banter show when we went through it. And I don't know. You know how it is. It's superstitious. It's just, the way I look at it is obviously I want things to pan out and I hope they pan out. But at the end of the day, if they don't, still get to raise the banner, which is pretty cool. So that's a bright side.
That is true. That is true. So it's a nice little President's Trophy banner.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Right. You also hang one for like Nashville did with the most wins in the regular season. If you want to do something like that, just for shits and giggles. No,
I would not. I like championship banners.
Yeah, I prefer those for sure. 94 is a little lonely.
Yeah, you'd rather have a cup banner. Yeah, understand. Ours looks nice, hanging up there. Every time we go to to Enterprise Center, it's the first thing I look at. It's like,
of course,
it's got
of course.
Good time. Let's talk about. We'll move on to the last. Well, I don't know if it'll be the last thing we talk about because we talk about playoffs a little bit more with Jared here. But Arizona Coyotes dropped some renderings of their new arena, and this is courtesy of I think Front Office Sports. Is where I got
so
these.
they're going to Phoenix, or
they're at the. It's the same location, so it's like the 101 loop, like northeast. I think Phoenix area.
Same location as the Gila Arena, or where it was before.
I heard something like North Tempe, and then they're talking about Utah and Houston. Because they're not sure yet.
It's a 100-acre plot of land that the Coyotes are targeting. It's in the south. It's in the corner of Scottsdale Road and the 101 freeway. It's adjacent to the Scottsdale city limit and east of Desert Ridge Mall.
Interesting. That's an interesting render up top, because if you look at the arena and then you look at the blueprint it has up top, I guess on the left that has to be like a practice rink or something.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. But it looks nice. You can't really go off these, but
it's better than 5,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
Right.
But also at the same time, I feel like the Mullet Arena, I mean, I've never been there, but I feel like it has a certain kind of charm to it, if you will. Like, it's kind of cool. A little bit.
Right.
It also does stink, but it's a little cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Gary Bettman doesn't seem to phase, like he's not really nervous if the Coyotes are going to have a deal or not. So maybe he knows something that we don't.
Yeah, because he's going to be making the deal.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind them in Utah, though. That'd be pretty interesting.
No,
I don't think
Bettman's going to do everything he possibly can to stay in Arizona. He loves Arizona. I don't know why, but he's going to do everything in his power to make sure they do not move.
Yeah, that's where I'm with it. He's gonna do what he can to keep the Coyotes. Whether it's Phoenix or they go back to the Phoenix Coyotes or they stick with the Arizona Coyote name, he's gonna do what he can to keep them in the Phoenix area. What I thought was neat was the dang, which I know a lot of arenas are going to this style of scoreboard ever since the Rams kind of debuted it at SoFi Stadium, I guess, with this big oval
The wraparound, yeah.
I think that scoreboard it's different. We don't see those typically in NHL arenas.
No.
Mm-mm.
So I think it would be cool to see something like that. I'm curious how, like, where it says Phoenix here, what that is there. Like, what else is tied?
It's probably
into that?
like a I don't want to call it a concourse, but like a like a down. I don't want to call it a downtown area either because it looks like it's surrounded by stuff. But maybe like a couple bars, like a shopping
Kind
mall type deal.
of like Ballpark Village for the Cardinals a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the Hartford Whalers literally used to play inside of a shopping mall. I don't know, Aaron. I'm assuming you two have never been to Hartford, but Aaron, I'm sure you've been to the XL Center.
Yes, sir.
Not so much anymore. But back when the Wolfpack first got there and when the Hartford Whalers were there, that was like a full-on shopping mall with a bunch of stuff to do. There's a hotel inside, everything. So it's probably going to be something along those lines, if I had to guess.
Yeah. Do you guys like the way kind of like stadium development is? As they're building basically their own little cities.
Yeah.
Within the
As long
stadium,
as they make
itself,
money.
like around the stadium. So
I think it's a pretty neat idea.
It's gotten to the point now. I don't know if it's just because I've become an adult and like here and there, like I like to mix in. I call them. I mean, they are what they are, but I call them away games, and I go to just like I'm playing an away game. I'm going to a Nashville game, going to a Vegas game, like wherever I am. I like you go to Citi Field for the Mets. They used to have a bar there, and even Yankee Stadium has like a small strip, but it's nothing crazy. But like. Then you go to a Patriots game up in Foxborough. They have Patriots Place, where it's like, again, a pseudo mall where they have a bunch of stores. They have a bunch of restaurants. So you go to Chicago for a Cubs game. They have Wrigleyville with bars galore. Same thing in Boston with Fenway. Like the outside area gives you like, okay, like games at 3 p.m. Let's get there at noon. We'll go have some lunch. We'll get a couple beers. We'll go into the stadium. We'll watch the game. Then after the game, we'll just go bop around the area again. And then, eventually rip an Uber back to wherever we're going. So I think it kind of, it makes it more
eye appealing,
worthwhile
to the eye.
Yeah, well, yeah, not even in passing the eye test. Like you could make a stadium pass the eye test, no problem. But like, just worthwhile in the sense of like you're not that you're never wasting a day going to a professional sporting event, but just like you can go and do other stuff other than go to the game. Probably won't be cheap, but you can go there and have yourself a day.
Oh, definitely.
Right. Do you mean you think this has to do with Atlanta coming out with like the Forsyth area, basically doing almost the same type of kind of setup in sorts of a way that we see here with Arizona? You think this is Arizona's way of being like, hey, that's what we want to do too?
I hope they stay in Arizona over Atlanta. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
I think Atlanta's going to really come back to blow up in the face of the NHL, and I hope they're smart about it. I know they're really pushing, and things around are going to be different. The same, my ex-girlfriend said the same thing, but I just don't think that's going to be the case.
Yeah, I don't see. I think the NHL, in my opinion, on expansion, I think they need to just be like, whoa, like hold on, let's not saturate things.
Yeah, they can also give it a second. We just got two brand new teams, and
right.
So there's no rush. Before the Knights, the last expansion team was in 2000. So like it's not, it's okay. 32 is a fine number. It's an even number.
Yeah. Well, they brought in what, 6 or 4 teams in 2000? Columbus.
The Columbus.
No, just Columbus and Minnesota. It was 2. It was Atlanta.
Columbus, the Thrashers, Minnesota, and I feel like
was
the
it
Sharks.
Dallas was already there.
I think it was like a weird movement that it was It was definitely Columbus, Minnesota, and the Thrashers, but also like 2 years before that, I think in '97, the North Stars moved to Dallas. The Sharks came into the league. Ducks' first season was '94, so they were a little earlier.
Right.
But there was a little bit of movement before that. Who?
The Panthers were what, 97?
Yeah.
It was just Minnesota and Columbus in 2000.
What year did the Thrashers come in? Let's see.
Yep. The 2001 season saw two new the expansion teams was in Columbus and Minnesota.
Thrashers came in 99, so the year before.
So
But it was like the three of them. Like I grouped them together. I don't know what the
it's all. I mean,
reason
it's all
for that
close
was.
enough.
Yeah.
It's all close enough. It's weird though seeing you get the success in Minnesota, you get the success in semi success in Columbus.
Yeah, they're doing all right. Their
don't-
team just stinks, but they have a fan base.
Yeah, they have a good fan base, but you don't get the
They should have kept
same.
Mike Babcock.
You don't see the same success for Atlanta, even though they came in a year earlier. I wonder what's we look at some of the successful expansive franchises. You can throw Seattle in there, Vegas, Minnesota, Columbus.
I wouldn't call Minnesota successful.
No.
Better than other teams, but I wouldn't call them successful. I have the expansion timeline up here. So in
They've had
91,
good players.
I just feel like they haven't really made any playoffs. That's what I'm measuring.
No, playoff success.
Playoff
No.
Yeah.
success,
I just mean just being being able to keep the franchise in Minnesota. Makes sense to have a hockey team and
it makes perfect sense. The fact
where-
that the North Stars ever moved in the first place to Dallas, Texas was the dumbest thing in the world.
Yeah. And then 3 years later, you get a team back in Minnesota. Didn't make any sense.
With the expansion franchise up right now, or the timeline rather, 91, the Sharks went to San Jose. 92, the Senators and the Lightning joined the NHL. 93, the Panthers and the Ducks joined the NHL. 98, the Predators joined. I didn't realize they came in that late. 99, Thrashers. 2000, the Jackets and the Wild. And then 2016, Vegas. And then 2021, Seattle. 22. 21.
Yeah, it was 4 or 5 years after
22,
Vegas.
yeah.
22.
Yeah. So,
But you could even say the Jets are unsuccessful as an expansion from
as of late. They weren't before that, but as of late. I feel like they were doing very well for a good amount of time, and then all of a sudden this year, I'm starting to hear they're drawing crowds of like 4,000 people.
Yeah, which is crazy because they're still battling for first in the freaking Central Division.
Yeah.
You guys would kill for that.
I think we've talked about it on here too. Is that the people of Winnipeg have lobbied for a team for a while before the Jets went back? I think that was on here. I remember busloads of people from Winnipeg going to the Nassau Coliseum to say, "Hey, look, we could support a team," and the next thing you know, the Jets come back.
Yeah, that was a weird one too. Like the way everything went down with Atlanta in losing their second franchise, and they're like, "Hey, we're putting it back in Winnipeg." It just doesn't. It didn't. I don't necessarily know how well it sat with folks in Winnipeg. It'd be cool to talk to some people who went through the Jets leaving and the Jets coming back.
And they came back in 2011.
Yeah. Because that's when the first round of division realignment happened, wasn't it? Before the latest one.
Where'd they move to originally?
Who?
The original Jets.
Arizona.
Oh, Arizona. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, because it was around the same time Quebec moved to Colorado too.
Colorado, yeah. 90 what year? It's up 96. They played their April 28th, 1996. They played their last game in Winnipeg.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought it was 97 for some reason. I don't know why.
I mean, I got all the stuff I want to talk about tonight, guys. Talk about any more playoff stuff, Jerry. What do you think about playoff stuff right now? How you feeling?
I'm excited. Definitely excited. I think I mentioned it on here a bunch of times. One of my coworkers is a diehard Avs fan. We were talking about this last night. I genuinely think, and again, Homer, Jerry, tale as old as time, think it's going to be an Avalanche Rangers Stanley Cup final. I think it's going to be great. I also want to say to everybody, out there who is doubting. Oh wait, hold on a second. The Vancouver Canucks are in first place right now. I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Everybody out there who is doubting the New York Rangers' ability to play with the Florida Panthers, I hope you guys watched the game on Saturday night.
Saturday,
because that was just a beautiful hockey game. Start to, not so much start to finish, but second period on. Yeah, looking at the picture, man, I think it's kind of. I don't want to say it's cut and dry, but I think I have an idea of how the East is going to go. But obviously, anything can happen. I think the West is going to be kind of fun. You guys are. It looks like you guys are right on the outside looking in. Vegas has really fallen from God, so that's going to be something interesting to see how they bounce back if they're able to bounce back.
They'll probably beat St. Louis tonight.
You think so?
It's still 1-0 update in the second period. Anything can happen.
Kings are in the fold. Preds are in the fold. I think the Oilers are going to be the Oilers again and just kind of flame out in the second round like they always do. Jets are going to be interesting to watch because the Jets are a good hockey team despite having a horrific loss to the New York Islanders. But again, I think the Avalanche are just probably the deepest team in the West, and I think they just have, the grit and determination to really make a deep run with kind of the most complete team, if you will. So
and with everything, if it were to stay the way it is right now, the Avalanche would play against the Predators. So that would be a pretty. I think that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, Colorado. I think Colorado would win that 1 in 4, maybe 5.
Yeah, easily.
Maybe. Yeah,
I'm on that train. I totally agree in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 4 or 5 games for Colorado to move on. They'll just be too much for Nashville. I think Nashville is feisty though. They'll throw their bodies around and they'll be a tough team to beat.
Always have
Brandon
been.
Brought it up.
They always have been.
Brandon brought it up as one of like the who did you say was the Athletic? So they were one of the sleeper teams in the playoffs.
Oh, it was on Google. I think it was like NHL Insider or something. It wasn't the Athletic. It was something else.
Hockey Insiders, probably.
Yeah.
So who do you guys see coming out of the East then? Because you guys both pretty much like rolled your eyes, went backwards when Jerry said Rangers, Avs. I guess you guys saying Panthers, but
I kind of like your take on the Carolina. I'd hate to say this. I think the Carolina Hurricanes could be that team that could come out of the East.
I mean, we'll see. I'm a big believer, and mainly because it's burned us in the past. I'm a big believer in the top heaviness of teams. I don't think super teams really work in the NHL, if you want to call them that. And just, again, going off of the 2 big trade deadline splashes they received. But I think when there's too many cooks in the kitchen, I think something's bound to go wrong. I think they'll definitely see the second round, but I don't know how much further after that they're going to go.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're going to end up playing either Philadelphia or Washington.
And honestly, if they see Philly can give them a problem, man. You want to talk about scrappy underdogs that might be a sleeper team. Look no further than the Philadelphia Flyers.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. How do you think Toronto does?
I think Toronto's going to be Toronto.
Round.
Yeah.
First round again?
Who are they playing first round? They
would play
they would be up against Florida.
Yeah, that's a gentleman's sweep. I'll be nice, little gentleman's sweep.
Well, they play Boston, right?
No. Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong team. Yeah, they'd be playing Boston. Boston against Toronto.
That'll be a good series. That'll be a real good.
That one, I think they would probably still lose, but it'd go like 7. But it'd be like some BS at the end, something like that.
They're gonna have a 4-1 lead at the third period and
lose
5-4 overtime.
Stupid.
Yeah, that'd be a shame.
Wouldn't rule it out. I would not rule that out at all.
But that's just Sheldon Keefe, though. Like, he can't do anything in the playoffs with this team. He's been there for 5 years?
Yeah. They're. Man, I don't know. What do you think about I already talked to the other 2. Jerry, what about the stinking Washington Capitals?
They're kind of going on a little bit of a run here. I wouldn't, I mean, a little bit. They're in 8th in the East, but It's kind of crazy to watch them just lurk in the shadows and then strike when the iron, like nobody expected it. My brother actually just went to Oshie's 1000th game this weekend. He said it was a cool experience. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to say I hope they make the playoffs because I don't, because they've always been notoriously hell for us personally. But I think that'd be great to see one more run from that old guard. Lord knows that they're probably going to be getting broken up soon, even though there's really not. I think there's 3 or 4 players from that whole, dynasty era still left, give or take. Oshie, I think Backstrom's not bad. Is
Backstrom still there?
Yeah, I think Backstrom's still there. Oshie, Ovi, Backstrom, hope he's gone. Tom Wilson's still there, obviously. Oh, he's suspended, but he's still there. But I mean, you can really, and if you want to thank anybody, you can thank the Red Wings and the Islanders for just skidding at the perfect time there. There's really no one else to really say thank you to other than people just shitting down their leg at the worst time possible. Because now we're under a month out from the playoffs now. So things, the Rangers are going to probably clinch their spot in 2 weeks, give or take. Same thing with the Bruins and the Panthers and Hurricanes too, probably. So things are we're going to get a pretty solid picture in a couple weeks. So
yeah. I'd imagine by time we do the show next week, I'd say at least 6 teams have a playoff spot clinched.
I think that's fair.
6, if not,
especially if you look at the 7 points. If you look at the points disparity, I mean, the Canes are right behind us in the Metro, so that's going to be a little. That's probably going to come down a little bit to the wire. But once you get past the Bruins, the Maple Leafs have 89 points, the Lightning have 85, the Flyers have 81, then the Capitals have 79. So it drops down pretty heavily after the 97 that the Bruins have, and then I feel like the West is a little closer.
Yeah, I think outside of if we're looking at the East from my perspective, I think the top 3 in each division, outside of the top 3 in the Atlantic are pretty much in.
Yeah.
The top 2 in the Metro are in. Tampa Bay's in. I don't see how they don't get into the playoffs at this point.
Maybe Tampa and Toronto flip.
Could see Tampa and Toronto flipping.
Possibility.
Depending on how Toronto plays, how Tampa Bay plays. Washington, I could see sneaking into that 3rd spot in the Metro. Philadelphia, maybe dropping all the way out. But
I hope they don't. I really want to see the Flyers in the playoffs. I really do. I know we're supposed to hate Philly, but I think they're, they've been down and out for a while. I kind of want them to get back, and I like the underdog spot they're in. Again, kind of primed for a nice little upset in the first round. So I think that'd be pretty cool to see.
Yep.
That would be interesting. Philadelphia, Carolina, round 1. That would be a heck of a first round too. You talk about Boston and Toronto, Philadelphia and Carolina.
Yeah. That could go 7.
It would be a good one. Yeah. I mean, if Frederik Andersen is playing, lights out right now, so
yeah, he's literally 6-0. I think with a 192 goal against.
Right. It's rough. It'll be interesting to see how the playoffs work out. You guys got anything else tonight?
No, I'm just excited. I'm excited for the tail end of the season.
Yeah, we got 10, 11 games left for most teams. Some 12. So we'll be talking more playoff hockey next week as we figure out who gets a clinch spot in the playoffs and who might be on the outside looking in at that point. And it's gonna be fun. End of the season is always a good one. So make sure you catch us next week, next Monday. Hopefully same time, same place. We'll see you next time.